It's World Cup time, and in honor of that, we're going to set up our own competition. Welcome to the Citizenship Cup, Argentina versus Mexico. Hello, I'm Irena Pergomet. I'm an Assistant Operations Manager here at Nomad Capitalist. So in today's matchup, we're going to be looking at the benefits of citizenship and residency in Argentina versus citizenship and residency in Mexico. So let's start with what are the benefits of citizenship, of getting citizenship and residency in Argentina. So Argentina is one of the best choices for former US citizens seeking a Tier A passport to fill in the gaps. So nowadays, the Argentinian passport ranks 20th place according to the Guide Passport Ranking Index. This passport actually gives you a possibility to enter a total of 171 destinations. Apart from that, obviously, sometimes you won't even need a visa, sometimes you will need to get a visa on arrival, and sometimes it's through electronic travel authorization. Out of these, you have visa-free access to 128 countries. For example, Argentinian passport holders have visa-free access to the EU and to most of the Middle East countries. So, how you can get actually, firstly, residency in Argentina? So, there are several options on how you can get residency there. The first one would definitely be to actually start a business. You would have to start with at least $35,000. The initial residency is temporarily, and you would have to actually renew it every year. Another option is pensionist. So you must receive a pension from the government, not obviously in Argentina, but in your country of origin. And that pension must be around $725 per month, and you will need to actually show the evidence that you're receiving that money on a monthly basis, of course. The third option would be rentist. So with this option, you would have to show and prove that you have assets outside of Argentina that produce a minimum of, again, $725 per month. It's not possible to show bank accounts for this unless you can actually prove that this account gives you interest of more than $8,700 per year. Again, the initial residency that you will get is actually the temporary one. The fourth option is investment visa. So investor visa may be granted to any foreign national who intends to make the investment in Argentina for an amount not less than approximately $10,000 in any lawful business engaging in a productive commercial or service activity. Citizenship in Argentina is actually very easily obtainable, and it has the quickest naturalization process in the world. So after 2 years, with the requested physical presence in 180 days per year, you can actually get Argentinian nationality. Although the qualifying time is quick and easy, the application itself can take some time. The entire process could take up to 18 months before your passport is actually issued. In addition, while applying for citizenship in front of the federal judge, they do not ask for a language test, but they do ask for a basic discussion in front of the judge, and that will, they will sometimes check on that, so you will probably need to learn at least a bit of Spanish. This makes Argentina one of the fastest and easiest places in the world to actually get citizenship. Apart from this, Argentina also allows to hold dual and multiple nationalities, though you'll need to check your current nationality to see if your government allows your dual citizenship or not, which if not, it means that you will have to renounce your original citizenship. So when it comes to quality of life, if you decide to live in Buenos Aires, you would have a great quality of life. The economic turbulence may prove difficult for some, though as an expat, you're mostly insulated from this. So Argentina has a diversified and open economy that gives investors plenty of business prospects and trade opportunities. So sectors such as the renewable energy and agricultural sector are the leading ones and most attractive for entrepreneurs. So let's look at the downsides. Argentina isn't particularly one of the best passports for crypto investors. It isn't a great country to set up your investments because of federal efforts to limit use of it. Meanwhile, for example, the economic situation in Argentina remains unstable with price and high inflation. But I mean, that's happening right now in every country around the world, right? So one of the disadvantages of the Argentinian passport is that you would actually need a visa if you want to travel to the US, Canada, Australia, China, or Japan. So another downside of this is that individual residents are actually taxable on their worldwide income in Argentina. So Argentina has dual citizenship agreements with Italy and Spain. So if you're looking to gain visa-free access to the US, Canada, EU, or Australia, for example, then you might want to look in acquiring residency in Spain, so which is very easily obtainable, and Spain does offer as well a golden visa program, which you can perhaps take a look at. So this was Argentina. Let's look on the other side on Mexico. So I will first mention some of the benefits of getting citizenship or residency in Mexico. So a Mexican passport gives you a bit less than Argentina, 91 countries without a visa, 51 countries that allows Mexico passport holders to enter by obtaining a visa on arrival, plus 5 electronic travel authorization destinations. Overall, a Mexican passport gives you access to 147 destinations. So notable destinations included are mostly UK, EU, and the whole of South America. So Mexican citizenship can actually be acquired after being either a permanent or a temporary resident of the country for at least 5 years. Mexico is one of the cheapest countries to become a resident at. All you need to do is actually to show that you have a pretty steady income. You would have to provide the bank statements that will show that each month you have at least of $2,600 and that you're receiving them at the same amount at the same time, basically that it is a salary or maybe it can be investments or something like that. This depends from the embassy until the embassy. One important thing to mention about Mexico is that Mexican citizenship is actually granted to people born abroad to at least one parent who is a national of Mexico. So apart from this, Mexico actually recognizes citizenship by birth, meaning that if your child is born within the territory of Mexico, and even though you do not have any kind of connections to Mexico, your child can actually get Mexican citizenship, and you would also have the opportunity to acquire permanent residency there, and that eventually can also lead to citizenship. So now let's mention some of the downsides of having citizenship in Mexico. So resident individuals are actually subject to Mexican income tax on their worldwide income regardless of their nationalities. However, what is important to mention is that Mexican citizens are considered tax residents of Mexico until they actually acquire tax residency in another country. This means that you could actually cut all the ties that you have with Mexico, claim your tax non-residency in Mexico, and simply have tax residency in another country while still holding your Mexican passport. A 5-year wait and the requirement of spending 18 months over 2 years might be a lot for some, but one has to keep in mind that this citizenship programs does not require donations or investment, meaning you would just need to wait to be naturalized in Mexico. A Mexican passport does not offer, however, visa-free access to some of the biggest markets, such as, for example, the US, Australia, Russia, and China. And as for EU access, Mexican passport holders can access EU countries for a period of 90 days. Also keep in mind that Mexico is a developing country, but crime and corruption are still some serious problems there. So for people who are considering Mexican citizenship and would like to have an access to some of the countries that Mexican citizenship does not allow you visa-free travel to, such as Canada, Australia, the US, and so on, perhaps you can think about the combination of getting Mexican citizenship and Maltese citizenship through Citizenship Investment Program, and you would simply have access to the whole world. It was a hard-fought match, but at the end of the day, our professional recommendation would definitely be to get residency and then citizenship in Argentina, meaning that Argentina is the winner of today's show. Look for a new video in a few weeks, and we will see what the next matchup will be.